I am excited for this episode of the Hot Pass Podcast. Welcome. If it's your first time, welcome to the fucking podcast, baby. This is where we swear. So if you are the good Christian Southerns, you know, the Baptists that I met over the weekend in Talladega, get this shirt out of here. Maybe this isn't the podcast for you. But I genuinely think that this is a very inclusive podcast, is what we like to call it nowadays in 2024. And I just want to start off by saying welcome, and make sure to rate, share, subscribe to the podcast. We got a mumble jumble going on. Make sure to go to the YouTube. We're uploading this on Wednesday morning for you guys up on the YouTube channel, because you guys got to see what I'm wearing right now. Oh. Also follow me at @FurlongEric_ on all social media. But we took Bubba to win the race now, I'm a 2311, crotch sniffer is what they like to say. Yeah, okay. Just like Junior Motorsports. I'm all up in there. Doing what we got to do, but I'm a fan. 23XI. With the unbelievable, Toyotas end up crashing and shit. A lot of them. And then it ends up working out for Tyler Reddick, and he gets the dub. Michael Jordan's there. He's we're up in the stands, grabbing onto each other, jumping around, having a good time. Everybody else is like, oh my God, why? Denny won, no matter what, because that's his driver and all this shit. Everybody's like crying up in the stands. And I went, bitch, 2311. And you know what we got right here? Don't open it up all over the fucking laptop. Nasty Beast Hard Tea. Check me out on YouTube, Hot Pass Podcast. The hard tea. I was looking for this when they came out with it. We can't get any of the Monster drinks up in Canada. And this shit's good, bro. Not a sponsor, but I drank way too many of these over the weekend. And, the King Can beers? We're going to get into everything that happened, my trip and everything, and details and races and stuff. But I got to say, the King Can beers, I was at a convenience store, and I only thought they made the small little cans for my Americans, 12 fluid ounces, or like the regular 355 mil. And then I found the big cans, like the regular size Monsters. And then I go to this gas station that we usually go to when we're down in Dega, and they've got in the little icebox cooler right next to where you're checking out all your stuff, they've got a King Can of the bitch. So I grab all those. Then they're like, yeah, we have the Nasty Beast stuff near the cooler. You must have walked right by. She comes, brings me a case of that, and it's on. Now, this is not a sponsorship, but I feel like at this point, you got to get it done, because we also have the Tyler Reddick Nasty Beast shirt on. I also have the Green Beast shirt. So this point, we got to get the sponsorship done, Monster. What are we doing? Photos with Riley Herbst. What are we doing? Riley Herbst and I are dogs now. All right. He finished second in the race. We're gonna get into that. But I just want to say, Nasty Beast is goddamn good. If you guys haven't had it yet, a lot of people haven't. It is a hard tea, and it literally tastes like tea for a split second, and then it's like water, and it's dangerous. I was wobbling on Friday night on the boulevard. Let me tell you right now. That's what we're drinking. That's what we're cooking up. But let me get into the story of the weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I was on and off social media, but not as much, because seeing friends, partying, having a good time down in Talladega. We made the 14-hour trip back yesterday, all in one day. We left around 7 a.m. Central Time. Made it back. I was in bed after taking a couple of stops, getting food on the way home, getting all the Nasty Beasts, loading up with Liquid Death as well. And I made it back about noon. Not noon, midnight, 12:30 in the morning, back to my place, and unloaded everything. So I was pretty tired, pretty gassed. And obviously, if you guys follow me on social media, I said that, I'm not going to get the podcast up till like late Tuesday, maybe Wednesday morning. So here we are, late Tuesday for your ears. Okay. So let's just recap the trip. We leave Wednesday super early in the morning. We go down to Kentucky, or we get to one of the most southern points of Kentucky. Little did I know, we were staying about 20 minutes from Corbin, Kentucky. If you guys don't know Corbin, Kentucky, did you guys know that that's the original place of like the original KFC? So they had the museum and shit there and everything. And I'm like, my brother mentioned it, and I went, how'd you know that? And he said he just Googled, like, what's there to do in Corbin? And that's what popped up. You know, I could sniff out the racism there, but, you know, it was a it was a pretty good. We didn't eat any KFC there, and I'm assuming that it's probably just like every other KFC. It better be the best KFC. They better have all the spices in there, and you better not be missing, what was it, the 26 herbs and spices or whatever the fuck it is that makes the KFC chicken. You better not be missing one. Like a bunch of the other KFCs in the world, it tastes like absolute dog shit. So that should be the best one. I didn't go in, but I mean, it's an experience. So then we get to our Airbnb, and our Airbnb was, I mean, it was nice, but we're in 2024, and I feel like at this point, you need internet. And the whole drive, once we left Corbin and we're going through like the foothills, deep into the bottom of these foothills in Kentucky, getting to our Airbnb, and we're like, we have no signal. Like no bars, no LTE, no 5G, not one single bar. There's no service. So I'm like, okay, the girlfriend's going to be pissed because now once we get to the Airbnb, we're going to have to drive 20, 30 minutes back out of the country to be able to go, hey, girlfriend, hey, by the way, I can't talk to you for the next 12 hours or whatever because there's no service at our Airbnb. And at my Airbnb, it's so back there that they don't have Wi-Fi. And my dad booked this place or whatever, and we're like, I guess we're playing fucking dominoes and board games. Now, was it nice? Yeah. We ended up at our Airbnb having like one or two bars. So I could text kind of, but you couldn't go on your phone and do the internet. So that was a wash of being able to post like literally anything. Basically, I could just like text a little bit. So that's why Wednesday I wasn't really on social media. So we stayed there, nice place. Went out for food in Corbin, and then we went to Williamsburg. No, earlier on in the day when we got there around noon, it was we went into Corbin and had lunch. Later that night, we ended up going to Williamsburg, Kentucky, and this is the craziest shit I've ever heard. I come from a country in Canada, right? Canada has weed legalized all across the board, and you can carry up, I think on a flight, you can end up carrying up to an ounce of weed on a plane or a train or whatever. And then obviously in the States, it goes by state. But in this town in Kentucky, it was so southern. Williamsburg, Kentucky. Go look it up. We find out when we sit down in this restaurant, we ask the guy about the Christian university up the street. He said it's not Christian anymore. Can't remember the name of it, but he tells us some wild shit. They only just legalized in that town. 4 years ago, they legalized drinking. I was like, there's no way nobody in this town was drinking. This whole time, you were going down to like another fucking township or county or whatever, buying booze and bringing it back. There ain't no way there's no alcoholics in this town. So they just end up legalizing it now, which just sounds so crazy to me that you're legalizing booze in 2020. It also seems like that'd be the worst time to fucking do it, dude. Everything's shut down. And I was like, oh, by the way, now booze are legal. So we're just going to get fucked out of our minds and not know how to control, how to drink for all these people. So like the Christian university, this is also the craziest thing I fucking heard. At this Christian university, or used to be Christian university, they still have rules that I can't even explain this, dude. This is so crazy to me. I was boinking and doinking at 15. Am I proud of it? No, because of the girls, like, you know, I was taking advantage of girls. They were taking advantage of me, and it was just not a good time. But now at this university, you got to secretly boink each other, man. They still have rules in place that if you want to have a girl over to your student apartment or townhouse, whatever, that you have to, if you have a blanket over, you have to have your feet touching the ground, both of you. And the person, I can't remember, I didn't go to university, I went to college, which is like community college in the States, but I went for landscaping and stuff and agriculture and all that shit. So who's on the floor? It's not a dean, but You know, the person that watches over the floor or whatever, if you're in like student housing and stuff, they can just walk in. No knock. They can just walk into your place and do a room check or whatever. And you better have the blanket. You both sitting there being, praying to each other, saying, don't let the demons, don't let the devil make me put my penis in her, brother. And you better have both your feet on the ground or you get in trouble. Now, I don't know what the repercussions are of boinking and doinking without your feet being on the ground or get caught boinking. Like, my thing is what happens if you walk in and I'm trying to get the demons out of my balls alone? There was so many questions, but I met this nice guy or whatever that was at the restaurant there, and he told us all this stuff, and he's traveled the world. Super nice guy. Can't remember his name, but super nice guy, and gave us all this info. And what a weird town, because it is in the back country where we were staying, and it was all like shitty rundown trailers. Everybody had a nice car, shitty rundown trailers, and all of a sudden you get into Williamsburg, and there's all the money. All funneled into this university, and the whole town was super nice. And then you literally drive around the corner, and then all of a sudden it's like back country. Like, that's how they talk. That is the craziest shit. No disrespect to the South. Love going down there. Love the people. Love the Southern hospitality. Everybody's always super nice. But that was a little odd. Everything about that. I was like, that is so opposite of what we do up in Canada. So the next day, we travel the next 5 hours down to our Airbnb. Thursday, what did we get into? We get to our Airbnb and we're kind of hanging out. And then I think it ended up raining, but we went to the place that we had catfish and everything last year and crawfish. And we get there, no crawfish. I guess I find out, like, I was so excited for some crawfish. I don't know why. It's just it's not readily available up here. But then I guess I said because of the extreme cold they had and this past winter, and then the drought in the South last year, there's virtually like no crawfish. That's what we Googled. So I was like, okay, no crawfish. But I had grouper, dude. I'm going to look up. Okay. Go look up a grouper. I think it's Grouper. Grouper fish. Go look up that fish. It is the ugliest fish. Picture a uncle, and he's got glasses, and he's got the big bulgy eyes, bit of a beer gut on him, has a beard, but has like a not a good beard. It's patchy, and he's just a heavier set gentleman. And he's just a little annoying and talks like this. Hello, sir. Hello. Oh, hello, Jimmy. It's a big fucking fish. I'm looking at a photo online right now. These grouper fish can be like the size of your body. Okay. Ugly fish. The most delicious fish I've ever had. Now, maybe it was the way they seasoned it and shit, but holy shit, one thing that is ugly as fuck is the most delicious thing I have ever had in my life. It was, I couldn't even explain it. Like, it is so, it's sweet. It just like falls apart when you're cutting it. They say it tastes along the lines of like a bass. Or, I can't remember what else we Googled, but it tasted like bass, but even like cleaner even. Supposedly it's a readily available fish, and I would have never thought that was something that people could just eat. That fish doesn't look like you'd be able to eat it. So, whatever part of the fish I was eating, I could have been eating his ass or his jawline. Whatever part it was delicious. So shout out to the grouper for sacrificing your life for us, laying your life on the line and getting him inside my belly because it was delicious. But then we're sitting there and we're supposed to meet up with our friends from Memphis, Tennessee that we met last year in the infield. And all of a sudden they just show up with all the people that do STEPS, STEPPS is the tow truck company or whatever that does all the tow truck for all the races across the South, or sorry, not across the South, all across the U.S. And the guy that runs the whole thing or whatever, STEPS, basically the head guy, his daughter or whatever is who I became friends with last year. They're in their late 30s or early 40s. And we saw them there. And so then we make plans to meet up Friday, and that's what we did. That's what we get down on the boulevard, baby. So Thursday, super easy night. Friday is where it gets on. God, I love this nasty beast. It's so fucking good, dude. Great idea by Monster. So Friday we go to the infield and meet up with our friends pretty early on. I can't remember if it rained or not. I don't think so. But anyways, it was hot as shit. We hang out in the infield pretty much all day. We did a little bit of walking around at the Gypsies across the street. Not too much for Gypsies this year for like diecast and stuff. It just wasn't a good selection at all. So I didn't buy anything, which was absolutely shocking. Went up to the haulers, checked out a bunch of stuff. My brother bought a couple things. And then we go to the infield, and we're hanging out with our friends from Memphis, and it's on, baby. I'm slamming a bat. We're playing cornhole, and up in Canada, cornhole isn't that like the biggest thing. But everybody down in the States, you go to a NASCAR race, it's cornhole central. They're playing bags, and just slamming back drinks. So I'm fucking taking shots of Pink Whitney. I'm taking shots of fucking rum. Beers, nasty beast. It was on, dude. And I think qualifying for Xfinity started going on, and we just like walked down towards between 1 and 2, turns 1 and 2, and this guy has a camper set up with a roof on top, or like a platform on top. So he lets us go up there, and we're watching qualifying, and there's these people from New England, and these two girls and their mom, they've never been to a race or whatever. And so I'm explaining everything. And then I say that I'm also Canadian and I'm a Leaf fan. And then it was on. Because if you guys don't know, and you're not NHL fans, Boston and Toronto are playing. Toronto Maple Leafs is my team. My whole life. I know we're dog poop. But things feel a little different. And I was talking all this shit. And Saturday night, we got spanked 5-1. But at the time of recording this, last night on Monday, the Leafs ended up fucking winning 3-2. Austin Matthews is a dog. And on the video that I'm going to, the YouTube, I've got my fucking, that's going to be coming out Wednesday morning on the Hot Pass Podcast YouTube channel. I have the Maple Leaf Crocs I got gifted for Christmas or whatever from the girlfriend's parents. They're hating that right now because they're Boston fans. And I'm going to trot around in these all week. I know it's not over, but something feels different. Let's get it done, boys. That's all I had to say about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I was talking all that shit to the New England people, and talking all that shit about being a Leaf fan, and we didn't go back the rest of the weekend because they absolutely spanked the shit out of us, and I was not dealing with that shit all fucking night. So we go back, and we're eating chicken wings and hanging out with everybody from Steps, tow truck company, and then we go down the boulevard, and that shit was nuts, dude. Something about the boulevard just gets you like fucking vibing. And it is basically a gathering of men with girls on stage just showing their titties. It is on another level of craziness, and all the guys are there to see some boobies. And I'm absolutely shocked every time I go that girls are just willing to do that, because it is a bunch of horn dogs. But I mean, good for them, man. It is a time. Like, it's just a good time. You're meeting random people coming up to you. People are wearing, Mario and Luigi outfits, and drivers are walking around. And so then I might pop up a photo if I can remember to add it into the edit of the YouTube video. But if you follow me at @FurlongEric_ on social media, you saw we talked to Bob Pockris from Fox. We met up with Riley. Oh, we saw Riley Herbst. Shared a little energy before Saturday. This is all on Friday night. So on Saturday for his race, I said I got money on him. I think it was his dad. And he grabs onto me and he looks into my eyes and he goes, "You bet all your money on Riley." And I went, "Whole life savings, baby." And we hug, and then I grab Riley. I go, "Good luck tomorrow, big dog." And then we hug each other, get a photo. Low key. Riley Herbst doesn't know that he's got a new best pal. In my head, best pals. He may think different. Best pals. I shared a moment. I looked into his eyes. Maybe I was a little fucked up. But we shared a moment. But let's just say we'll jump over to Saturday, and Riley Herbst ends up finishing second. And I was very upset about it. But at the same time, he was there. Great super speedway racer. Anytime Xfinity happens, Riley Herbst is one of the men to bet on. But earlier on in the day, I jumped a little ahead, but I just want to touch on that. It's mainly all I'm going to talk about for the race. It's just basically a quick little thing about the races and stuff. I'm not going to go too much into detail. I was pretty hammered, but also, there's a lot that goes on in these Talladega races. And I don't want the podcast to be crazy long. But earlier on Saturday, if you go to a race, the junior motorsports drivers always do a signing every single week at every track. Let me just wet my whistle again here. And I had the plan set. I mentioned it last week on the Monday show. I said I'm going to give Justin Allgaier a shirt. I'm going to talk to him and his PR manager, and we're going to get that podcast set up. Also, Sam Mayer is owed a t-shirt because it went me an absolute bag last week. And the snacks I was going to give to Bubba Wallace if he ended up doing a meet and greet. He ended up not doing one. The junior motorsports guys got one. So I waited in line by myself, and I'm like, I'm gonna tell these guys I got some shit for them. I tell them, I said, Sam, you won me $2,600 last week, baby. Let's fucking go. And he's like, no shit. And I'm like, we're dabbing up. We're having a good time. I said, I got a t-shirt for you. He's all smiles. Like, no. I said, I'm going to meet you behind the trailer here when you guys are done, and you're going to get your t-shirt. He's all smiles. Mentioned to Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones. We got to step up the game, boys. We love Brandon. Brandon Jones. I'm trying to try and make a friendship happen there, dude. Super nice guy. Him and I were clicking like fucking. I thought I've known him for a couple of years. It was like when you first fall in love with a girl, and it just feels right, and you feel like you've just known each other for so many years and know everything about each other. Brandon Jones and I now, he's got a lady, I got a lady. It's nothing like that. But Brandon Jones and I, we click low key. Brandon Jones is jocked, bro. He's short, like definitely shorter than me. I'm 6'2". A lot of people are shorter than me, but he's shorter. But he's absolutely jocked, bro. We got to get some Brandon Jones on Instagram or something. Pumping some, show us what's your bench press? Pumping some fucking iron, getting the chest, absolute guns. God bless. I said, what? In my head, I should have said something. Next time I see him, I told him I'll see him in Michigan. I said, bruh, this motherfucker is absolutely jocked. Don't fuck with Brandon Jones on, maybe he's doing boxing too. Maybe a little MMA or something. Don't fuck with Brandon Jones. Yeah, he may be short. Okay. But on pit road, you cross Brandon Jones the wrong way and a right hook could be coming. A little left, right, little kick to the stomach. And then put you in a guillotine and put you in a sleeper choke and you're out, you're done. Brandon Jones, low-key jock. That's all I got to say. So I give Brandon, later on, I'm talking to Justin Allgaier's dad, saying he's raised a great son. They come out back. Sam Mayer is trying to be Sammy Smith, actually, offer him the bag of snacks. He goes, I'm on a diet. I said, this motherfucker's on a diet. I said, oh. I look at him, I say, okay, I see you. Walks away. A little shy. A little quiet. I get it. Some crazy Canadian, heavily tattooed guy that you haven't built this relationship up yet is trying to give you candy. I know that sounds extremely creepy. All right. Stranger danger. He moves on. Now, Sam Mayer comes out. He's trying to be a little sneaky little devil and get out of there. Takes a couple photos with his kid. Very nice kid. Signing stuff. Tries to sneak away. I said, hey, I got your phone. He's backing out with in a golf cart, with his PR manager or whoever. And he's backing out. And I waited. I said, Sam. And he halts that motherfucker. He comes out. And he's like, what do we got here? And I'm fucking showing. And he's hyped. He liked that shirt. Now, I just want to say, every driver that took something from me other than Sammy Smith crashed on Saturday. So maybe it was my fault. I'm sorry for the junior motorsports fans. Maybe it was my fault that every single one of them crashed, burned, and died on that track. But, I wasn't responsible for Justin Allgaier crashing at Phoenix. I was not there. So it can't be just me. There's other factors here, okay? other dumb drivers crashing into them or causing them to crash. So Brandon Jones comes out. Justin Allgaier's, talking to somebody, and Brandon Jones comes out, and I gave him the bag of snacks. Now I said, you got to share, boy. You got to share. Him and I are joking around, shooting the shit. Great guy. I'm going to get him a shirt. Next race I go to, Brandon Jones deserves a shirt. Now, maybe I'm playing favorites now. Sammy, got to show me some love here, baby. We got to open up. Then you get something, okay? I know this is like bribery at this point. But Brandon Jones is a dog. We love Brandon Jones. I said the last couple of weeks, he's dead to me. I'm not going to bet on him. And now I'm creating relationships with these guys, and it hurts. I feel like I can't talk shit, but we have to be honest. And I was honest with him. I said, it's going to turn around. And he's like, yeah, man, it's been, Brandon said it's been tough. Last year was extremely hard, but they see the upside of what, them working on new things under the hood with himself, and good things are coming. So I said, okay, so we're shooting the shit about, the engine blowing, all this stuff, and joking and having a good time. Give him the snacks. He better fucking share it. I'm going to find out about it. And then Mr. Allgaier comes out, and we're all kind of hanging out, talking, shooting the shit. Give him the shirt. And his PR guy, Mike Campbell, great guy. Part of his family's from Canada. I started looking at them both and giving them a hard time. I said, I emailed you, motherfucker. Mike. I emailed Mike. You didn't get back to me. And he's smiling. We're having a good time shooting the shit. And so they're going to make it happen. Allgaier gave me, this is what I'm trying to get to. Allgaier took the shirt. And then now it's on. Now it's in their car. I sent emails at this time. Allgaier said he's going to come on the podcast. Mikey said that he's going to get it all set up and everything like that. So we're in the steps of getting Justin Allgaier on the podcast. I would also want Brandon Jones. If I could get the whole Junior Motorsports crew on, that would be great. I've told them that this podcast is just relaxed, fun. Couple of guys shooting the shit about NASCAR. There's no structure to it. There's no I'm going to ask questions, but I just want to talk to each other like we're just fucking regular dudes, and they're down for it. So we're going to try and make this shit happen. Once Allgaier's on, we're going to make baby steps again, trying to get other drivers on. I'm coming after them. If they don't answer emails by the time Michigan comes around, bro, ooh, baby, it is on. It is throwdown time. We're gonna have to find something, or we're gonna have to just do it at the track. I'll bring my microphones. We'll do an interview at the track. Find some time on a Friday or whatever, but the day before the race, we'll find some time. But I'm very excited. Allgaier is such a nice guy. If you guys aren't a fan of Brandon Jones and Allgaier and Sam Mayer and Sammy Smith, they're all solid ass dudes, and by far driving for the greatest team. But then I'm also fans of other guys like Riley Herbst. Stewart Haas Racing has a bunch of great guys in there too, and then Joe Gibbs Racing is like the devil. But also Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed are solid dudes. So, anyways, that went on. The race happened. Jesse Love goes to win the race. Riley Herbst second. Didn't push Haley Deegan. I'm a little upset about it. Because then Sunday, I had Brad Keselowski to win the race, and I had back-to-back second-place finishes in Xfinity and in the Cup Series. So that really hurt. Sunday wasn't too crazy. I met up with my buddy Clinton from Georgia that we went to the Atlanta race with. Had a couple of drinks, got a little fucked up, watched the race, good race. Other than that, that's basically the whole nitty-gritty the weekend. I mean, I met up with my friend Ashley and Andy on Saturday. Did we meet up? Yeah, a little on Saturday. And hung out with them. And then Sunday after the race, shot the shit for an hour or two or whatever after the race because of the chaos of all the traffic. And I love them. Ashley and Andy are the best. If you guys don't follow Ashley, I think Andy doesn't have social media. But Ashley True Love on Instagram, they're the best. The greatest couple. Hopefully, if I'm still off of work, I hope I'm not when it comes to the May 2-4 long weekend. But if I'm still off of work, I'm planning on, if not, I still might even go down. Go down to the Coke 600 for the weekend and go watch some races down there with them. Hopefully I can get the girlfriend to come down too. and do a little double dates, because this is a friendship that's going to last a long time. Having other NASCAR friends is the best, and I can't express it to you guys enough. You guys, if you have not been to a NASCAR race, please, for the love of God, go to a NASCAR race. Whether it's just for the Sunday or all 3 series, or if, it's just Xfinity and Cup, whatever, go to the races, buy something at the haulers and get an autograph. Junior Motorsports, I know, doesn't charge anything. You don't have to buy anything. You can just go and get something signed or get photos with them. The experience I've had at NASCAR races, meeting other fans just like me, other people in the the betting or podcast community for NASCAR, and meeting drivers and seeing the races and the atmosphere. There's nothing better. No sport is like this. I've never been to a hockey game. I've never been to soccer. I've never been to football. But there's just something about NASCAR that separates it, because it is a weekend event, right? The whole weekend. You spend all your money and you go for one day at an NHL game or an NFL game. This is different. This is a culture, and there's a lot more to it and a lot more passion to camp out for days and watch NASCAR for days and just meet new people around you and meet people from around the world. We met a couple that are big fans of Shane Van Gisbergen, and the husband was originally from Australia. His wife was originally from Germany, but she moved to Australia, and they met there and got married. And they 6 years ago moved to Texas, and this was their first time to Talladega, and we're talking to them and how they've been a fan of his when he was in the Australian Supercar Series and everything. Like this is the type of shit that goes on at NASCAR. The great, like, I love NASCAR fans, people from all over the world, and I love every single second of it. Please, for the love of God, let's get NASCAR in Canada. Let's spread the word about like how great this culture is. We need better vintage better clothing for NASCAR, okay, at the haulers, because I'm tired of the same old shit. Junior Motorsports is the leader in that, and also had a bit of an argument. RFK as well kills it with their designs, because I think a guy named Harris Liu, I want him on the podcast as well to talk about his shit. But he's a great designer as well, for clothing, like creative director or whatever. And he does great shit. So Junior Motorsports and RFK, I'll continuously say it, are leading. And every other place sucks kind of nuts. Let's be fucking real. So let's get everybody to buy vintage NASCAR, go to tracks, buy the merch, go to the races. It's cheap. Find a favorite driver, whether you're a girl and you think he looks good, he's a cute guy. Do your education, listen to this podcast, do your education on, the aerodynamics of the cars, the levels of different drivers, where they come from, do their background, find a driver you like, and then ride with them. Ride with them through the highs and the lows. I'm a Bubba fan, and it can be extremely hard of being a fan because of his team, the pit crew, all that stuff. I could go on forever. Find a driver, like I'm a fan of Brandon Jones, was a big fan of Sheldon Creed, and it's like they're going to have tough years. There's going to be times where they don't win, right? And you just can't change all of a sudden. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, okay? They haven't won a championship since 1967, and I wasn't even alive for the first 30 years, and then I was born in 1996, okay? So, I mean, I joined into a losing team. So NASCAR is one of those things. It's extremely hard to win, but find a driver, watch the races, tune into the Hot Pass podcast, and just enjoy your time. This is the best sport in the world. I cannot say it enough. So on that note, let me just drink a little Nasty Beast. But please subscribe to the Hot Pass podcast. Like, rate, share. the podcast on all media platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever. Make sure to follow me at @FurlongEric_ on all social media platforms. And don't forget that this podcast is available every Monday, obviously different this week because of me being down in Talladega, but every Monday morning for your ears. And then the Friday morning betting show is always available for you guys. And the Trucks and Xfinity is always exclusive to the Friday morning betting show. And follow me on my Action Network it's on the link in my bio on all my social media platforms. That's where I post all my Cup Series bets, early bets. And then you can find that card, at any point after practice and qualifying. I'll add my whole betting card on the Action Network as well. Let's fucking go. Tyler Reddick, the Jordan scheme. And this has been another good podcast. I hope you guys, if you really enjoy it, let me know. All right. And let's get hyped possibly for a Justin Allgaier interview in the near future. All right. I love you guys. Go watch a race, go to a race, and then let's make some bags. I don't have any early picks for you guys this week. If anything, I would probably say Chase Elliott. He's got good numbers out there. And Bubba Wallace has his 23XI U.S. Air Force, beautiful paint scheme. Go check it out on their social media. So those are two guys I'm taking. Bubba's a crazy long shot. Ross Chastain's also very good. But Chase Elliott seems to have the speed, and he won here 2 years ago. So, just a food for thought. All right? That's been the Hot Pass Podcast. I love you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you in... What day is it? Friday. We'll talk to you guys on Friday morning for the Friday morning betting show. All right? See you guys. Peace.